Now for the third speaker, the lady amongst us, other than myself, of course, and she is Dr. Angelica, Professor Angelica Baylon. She's a dynamic and recognized member of the international community. And these 22 countries we are talking about, she's got a finger in all those countries. She is recognized and listed in the Philippine Men and Women of Science and the Specialized Philippine Reference of Experts. She graduated with 4 masters and 3 PhDs, all with honors and grants. Her expertise is in maritime education, shipping business, bioethics, and sustainability. Dr. Baylon was formerly the Maritime Academy of Asia and the Pacific Executive Dean and Director for Research and Extension Services, and now she's the Pioneer External Relations Director for the same organization. It gives me great pleasure to invite Professor Dr. Angelica Baylon to deliver her talk on building one's competencies to contribute to a global talent ecosystem. Over to you, Dr. Baylon.
Thank you very much for that kind introduction, Andal. And good day, everyone. At the outset, I would like to thank the ICoTE 2022 organizers, chaired by our good friend, Som, to our amazing guest of honor and keynote speaker, Dr. Virginia Cate, the Special Assistant to the Chairman for Higher Education Institution of our Philippine Commission on Higher Education, and to all the inspiring co-speakers, moderators, and participants from around 25 countries. Congratulations to my co-presenters and newfound friends, Anshul and Paul, for they had shared wonderful insights on the role of data, technology, and artificial intelligence for workforce development, being excellently moderated by Andal. Our session team exactly confirms that technology is a tool. Technology plays a significant role in workforce development, and we have to reimagine and use them. As we have listened on the role of technology earlier, allows me to focus on the most critical subject, us, the people, designated as the workforce in this digital and algorithmic era. Knowing that most of our participants today are students, one of the objectives of today's ICoTE 2022 presentation is to reach out and inspire the youth who are currently novice or apprentice for them to be developed future workforce leaders who are competent, proficient, and expert. It is believed that my presentation applies to all types of generations, whether they are baby boomers, Generation X, Gen Y, or Gen Z, to whatever position or rank in the talent ecosystem. However, we must endeavor to be part of a productive workforce, actively developing and learning so we can contribute and help to the betterment of the talent ecosystem. Today, the traditional marketplace is evolving into a new frontier in the talent ecosystem, which is our theme, as we think global to support talent supply chain management strategies. However, in a talent ecosystem, we're also aware that only those talented and competent workers can easily move between roles, places, and categories as they desire, or according to an employer's needs in both local and global needs. But the question is how to be that competent, talented workforce needed to be sought after in the talent ecosystem, who can efficiently move between roles, places, and categories as desired, or according to the employee's needs. The how question is interesting, that requires an exciting explanation as well. There can be more than one correct answer depending on our perspectives and current role in the ecosystem. For me, it is building our own competencies in the digital era to contribute to global talent ecosystem for sustainability. And therefore, that is the title of my presentation. I prepared only 3 slides, which I believe summarizes the excellent presentation of the various ICoTE thought leaders I prepared a competency conceptual framework, followed by a competency mathematical formula, and finally, the talent ecosystem and current hiring landscape for the workforce, which I will explain in detail as I go on with my presentation. So let me start. So the next slide demonstrates a conceptual framework on how we can, as an individual, contribute to a talent ecosystem. The model you see on the slide is based on my observations, experiences, and documentary analysis from various publications and the presentations I enjoyed listening today, including my work at the Maritime Academy of Asia and the Pacific, which I have been part since 1999, initially as its pioneer executive maritime dean and director for research and extension services, and now as its pioneer external relations director. Similarly, my interactions with various experts have, in one way or the other, contributed to the thoughts which I will be sharing today. MAAP has been training students and seafarers in the Philippines since 1999. Many of the ideas I will describe have been influenced by my interactions with our president and mentor, Vice Admiral Eduardo Mar Santos, and with the so many scholarly global entities that I have in contact with, like the International Association of Maritime Universities, the Nautical Institute, the Institute of Marine Engineering, Science, Technology, Global Met, the Asia Marine Educators Association, the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation for Seafarers Excellence Network, the Asia Maritime Marine Fisheries and Universities Forum, the European Center for Social Responsibility, the PAEPI Global, Transnav, GEMS, TechBoss, GenuineIN, today's eminent scholarly presentations, and a lot more. I am thankful to all of them. A conceptual framework, as shown, relates to the inputs, to the process, and the resulting outcomes and outputs. Let me discuss first the inputs. These are the requirements or tools or support systems to assure that we as an individual can move forward. For easy recall, let me call the requirements as the 6 M's. Manpower or people, that is our good self and others. The machinery or the equipment, the infrastructure, the technology. The money to pay things and services needed. The materials like supplies or other items. The manuals containing guidelines, ethical procedure, policies, and the management for the leadership support. These are the 6 M's required by the workforce, either the learner, the students, the trainee, or worker, needed to be developed and move forward to be a competent, proficient, and eventually an expert individual. Then the process. The key ingredients that make the process are highlighted in the process, resulting in a high-quality outcome or end product, the outstanding individual. The mnemonic competencies is used for representation, convenience of the key ingredients or action verbs which need to be done by the person at the center to be competent. So allow me to use my photo at the center that symbolizes a novice or apprentice, ordinary person who needs to be transformed into a competent workforce. The other picture you see at the pink box or outcomes is my President Admiral Santos, symbolizes mentor, a proficient expert, and master in authority. For the process, instead of using the famous PDCA cycle, which stands for plan, do, check, and act cycle, aside from the maritime sector, let me refer you to the International Maritime Organization or the IMO Resolution 8.893, wherein all seafarers learn that in a passage planning, they must appraise, plan, execute, monitor, or APEM to navigate safely between 2 points. Given the premise and focus on building own competencies to contribute to the talent ecosystem, the same process can be used to steer a course towards becoming a competent person. The task to navigate own learning in life is a continuous learning process. We must appraise. We must know ourselves, our strengths, our weaknesses, along with any gaps in our qualifications, knowledge, skills, attitude, and experiences that need to be addressed to be better. P, plan. We must create our plan to serve as our guide on what we would like to accomplish. E is execute. We must carry out the plan. This is the most challenging part of our responsibilities. However, we must take action as planned to produce the needed outcomes. M, monitor. We need to check the plan if accomplished and reflect on what went well and what didn't. We must find ways and means to build out our competencies so we can be competent and move forward to being proficient, an expert, and a master for our satisfaction and contribute to the talent ecosystem that we are in. It must be understood that many experiences and further quality learnings or acquisition of new knowledge and skills are needed to elevate our competencies. To be talented, we need to be interested to learn. We need to love learning and take action with a sense of responsibility when choosing our course of action. Now, the action words or verbs are applied for easy recall, represented by each letter in the word competencies. It is opined that actions are needed to build up our competencies. Let us start with C, complete and contemplate. Your field of studies, experiences, and training. Be interested in pursuing a higher level of studies if available. This is to build up own qualification through completion and gathering of various certificates and degrees. However, you may have all the degrees and certification, but that is just part of the equation to make you competent. After completion, we must contemplate how to apply the knowledge gained. It must not stop there. Knowledge gained must be applied to be competent. Remember, competency is defined as the capability to use or apply a set of related knowledge, skills, and abilities required to do the task in any given situation successfully. O, observe and open your horizon by asking mentors or assessors for feedback. Mentors serve as inspirations and role models. Take advantage of the so many online resources, free manuals, journals, video tutorials, books. M, monitor and make way for new developments in technology. That is to move forward with the latest trends. Be a digital leader. Learn the use of new technologies to be effective for ourselves and for others. E, embrace, experience, and engage in all new things, drills, trainings, to hone our proficiency. Remember, proficiency is defined as competency plus experience. T, train and teach, because by mentoring or teaching others, we get to be more skillful and knowledgeable. E, examine and encode the goals and learning activities in a journal. It is in documenting that we won't forget what we have learned, and the same are helpful in performance review, in reflecting, and for future planning, for professional development, and in passing them to future generations. N, never give up. Always learn from the experience and do better the next time. C, create and cultivate new knowledge through continuing professional development scheme being offered by many organizations. I, involve and interact with various like-minded people, experts, and role models by being active members of global professional associations, to be mentored and be updated with global thinking and issues, and be recognized, which will add value to us, to you, and the global talent ecosystem. E, execute and extend the suitable learning activities, because practice makes perfect. And S, share and show knowledge for a domino effect and get satisfaction from doing so. Finally, the outputs or outcomes. It can be surmised that being competent is not enough. From being a novice means being new to a job, it is on elevating our competencies that we can go beyond being competent. Because competent means being able to do the job. Then, to be proficient. Proficient means being competent and experienced. And then, to experts. Experts means being able to contribute something new to the ecosystem and be a recognized authority. To be promoted or elevated to the next level, we must display greater proficiency above or beyond the minimum competency requirements. As technology advances, for example, competencies required today may not be the same as needed tomorrow, particularly in this pandemic, when we see the need for digitalization. We need to reimagine and maximize the use of technology with its varied roles for our development as a workforce. The next slide is a mathematical formula, which I prepared. And this is just for fun. And just for us to take a break, for us to reflect on what is essential to be a successful, developed workforce amidst the digital era and the COVID-19 pandemic. Earlier this morning, the Professor Vice Chancellor from Mangalore University, PSY, confirmed the definition of competency, which is defined as knowledge, skills, abilities, and attitudes, or KSA. And he included values and habits. So we are also aware that competency is needed for us to enable to act effectively in a job or situation for organizational success. Now, if we rank knowledge, skills, and attitudes on their degree of importance using a simple algebraic equation, which is ranked first. For fun, let us use the alphabet letters A to Z, and let us designate a value to each letter. If A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2, C is equal to 3, D is equal to 4, and so forth, and D is equal to 26, then we add all the designated value for each letter for knowledge, for skills, abilities, and attitude, as clearly illustrated on the slide. Can you see and confirm which gets a total of 100%? And you may include habits and values if you wish. And we can say that indeed, math is an exact science. It can be surmised that while knowledge, which gets a total of 96, be it practical or theoretical knowledge, skills for a total of 82, be it conceptual, technical, and core competency, like personal, interpersonal, and business skills, and abilities with the sum of 86 will assure us in moving forward for competencies. Habits with a sum of 52 and values with a sum of 80. However, it is our attitude with a perfect total of 100 that will ensure 100% positive result in moving forward with ourselves, serving as a catalyst to our actions in building our own competencies so we can contribute to the talent ecosystem for sustainability with deliverable outcomes. Yes, my dear friends, it is our attitude to act and apply our knowledge, skills, and abilities for the common good. Continuous learning through education, be it technology or new skills, is a must, regardless of age, whether you're young or old, and our position, whether we're student, teacher, or leader in the ecosystem. There is no limit to the degree of knowledge, quality, and experiences that can be achieved. It is dependent on our attitude to move forward exponentially with no limit. The composition of competency, the KSA plus H and V, will serve as a guide for workforce development to ensure success. Next, the next slide emphasizes the need.
Dr. Angelica, we're really running short of time.
Yes.
Yes, we've got beyond the 20 minutes.
I'll summarize now.
Yes, please.
So, yes. So the next slide emphasizes now for the all concerned to embrace and be part of the talent ecosystem, especially how the hiring landscape has changed dramatically since the COVID-19 pandemic. So many companies now are investing in a talent ecosystem through the use of technology to flex and scale their talent strategy through the talent ecosystem for success. While unemployment has increased during the pandemic, the highly skilled and talented individuals will be most sought after. Therefore, we should all be ready. Talent ecosystem allows finding talent in various means and maintain a close relationship with the required talent. Many organizations need to look for freelancers because of increased competition for talent. And to do so, they use technology in the sourcing ecosystem and consider attracting different generations. And digital transformation changed both people's relationship to work and how it is done. Technology has changed how people look for work as job seekers. There is a need for diverse talent through diversity in sourcing strategy to achieve success.
Thank you, Dr. Angelica.
Yes.
I really need to stop you here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, because we have to let the next group come in at 5 o'clock.
Yes, okay.
So thank you very much. And the message is loud and clear.
Yeah.
What we have is a buffet of competencies, and it's up to us how we pick and choose, and therefore make the ecosystem even more robust. Thank you once again,
Yes,
Dr.
thank you.
Angelica Baylon.